Hello everyone, Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to Ohio Anime. It's the anime show that doesn't take place in the morning here, but it is morning in Japan. So that's how we're getting away with it. My name is John, and we've got some regulars on the show here. Let's get them in. Phil, if Phil's looking cold, or
it's cold here.
Okay, all
frigid.
Right. Yeah, you're maybe perhaps you're stuck in a like dungeon instance or whatever, and it's pretty chilly, and you happen to have that hat in your inventory.
Could be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, Andrew, I can't hear you.
You're muted or something.
I didn't mute you.
I didn't either.
I swear.
Oh, fire screen swipe. No.
I flipped it because
you're more silent than you were before. Somehow.
Okay, well, Andrea's gonna work on the mic here.
I think she was trying to say she loved my hat. I think that's pretty much what she was trying to say. So
there, I muted and unmuted her just to check. But okay, well, we'll get a few house cleaning things on the way, where they call them. We've got we're live right now on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick. So check us out at any of those places. Subscribe, like, share, all that would be much appreciated. Sharing it out so you can get in, other people can get in on the conversation if they've seen Solo Leveling, because Solo Leveling is the show that we're going to be primarily talking about tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I won't say more than that, other than we'll get into that shortly. But before we do, it has been a new sort of anime season. A lot of things are starting up.
So many things.
Yeah. So, Phil, what have you managed to watch in this last couple weeks?
Oh, man. I've been watching it just so much, John. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, hey, wait, Andrea.
Oh,
I thought I heard you.
Hey, we can hear you. Great.
I did hear you.
I live.
You just had to turn your microphone on?
Yeah, it's probably that. No, I don't know. I'm having all sorts of fun. My work computer has also stopped. Like, all of the speakers on my work computer have stopped working. So I now have to like call into Zoom conferences and stuff like that. So it's just like a ton of fun.
Sweet. That sounds awesome.
So audio issues all around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right.
Anyway,
okay.
Tell us what you've been watching, Phil.
Yeah.
So say again, Andrea.
Tell us what you've been watching, hat or no hat. Can you hear me?
I have to actually pull up. I've been watching so much. I have to pull up my like Crunchyroll list.
I know, for the first time, like, for this show, I was like, I should probably like write down what I've been watching, because I feel like I've been watching a lot. Normally, It's like I watch the thing and then one more thing, and now I'm like, yeah, I've been watching.
Yeah.
No one contributed to the show notes. I was like, because that's where I've.
Oh, did you put out show notes? No, sorry. Yeah. I just, Okay. Here it is. I started. I've been watching Zenshu. It's Mappa's play on an isekai, where a manga, like a wonder kind manga anime artist dies and gets transported to her favorite childhood anime.
That's
which is actually like quite good so far.
Okay.
There's only like 2 episodes out so far, though.
Also, sure. Wunderkind is what you're looking for.
What did I say?
Wonderkind?
I don't think I said that.
Check the
tape. Whatever, Andrea. You have this English master's degree and you think you're so... No, it's fine. You're right. Yeah, thank you. I've been watching... let's see. I gotta get my feather. No, I haven't started that yet. I haven't started yet, but I'm excited to try with... And I haven't started because I wanted to have Dana watch too. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. Looks good. Looks right up her alley. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
I want to start that.
Well known. It was pretty good. It was only 1 episode so far, though. It's hard to tell some of these,
Sure.
Possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. So, Okay, but it's really good. I started even given the worthless appraiser class. I'm actually the strongest.
I swear there's
There's
a
like a
competition.
theme.
Yeah,
There's
for
like a
like
theme.
longest. Yeah.
This one's really actually very clever. It's isekai, but it's called Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big Four. So it's like this business guy who literally gets like headhunted by a demon lord. It's not an accident. He's consciously chosen, and he's made into like one of this demon lord's top 4 generals. And this demon lord, this guy's like, I don't have any like fighting skills or anything. And this guy's like, I don't want you to have fighting skills. I literally just want you to like manage my army and stuff. It's very funny. It's like an office anime, but it takes place in a fantasy world, and he works for this like overlord looking demon lord guy. It's quite funny, quite good.
Okay.
I've been watching something called, gotta get the name right, Bogus Skill, parentheses, Fruit Master. About that time, I became able to eat unlimited numbers of skill fruits, parentheses, that kill you. Not technically an isekai, because he just like lives in this world. But it's very much like follows that mold, because like it's this world where you, once you kind of come of age, you eat a skill fruit, and it gives you your skill. He gets he wants to be this like he wants to be like a adventurer, so he can join his childhood friend who's a woman, who's a girl. He's obviously in love with her, so pretty kind of there's definitely some tropiness there. But she gets this like crazy adventurer skill, and he gets Fruit Master, which means he can grow the skill fruits really well. But it turns out, not much of a spoiler because this is in the first episode, he actually can eat unlimited skill fruits, so he actually can be like OP as OPAF basically. So fun times. Solo leveling, obviously I'm watching.
Wait, okay, so you just talked about Bogus Skill. That's one you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Fruit Master. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that one wins the title.
Absolutely.
There's like multiple parentheticals.
Yeah, there's like symbols and stuff. Yeah. It's like
It's pretty good.
Ampersand. It's just got everything in here.
Sorry, that's only my Crunchyroll ones. I'm also watching stuff on High Dive. So that cat, who's a behemoth anime, I've been watching that. That's only for certain crowds, I would say. It's a little bit, it's good. I think it's well done. It's not for everyone.
Wait, are you talking about the
Beheneko, the elf girl's cat is secretly an S rank monster?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
not for everyone. Just check it out. But
well, I'm interested to see what the reception is going to be for this show. What people are thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because like I am not opposed to a this kind of show. This very like I occasionally watch High School DxD. That's sort of my go-to. Giant booby ladies. Comedy type of thing. And but I had to say, I watched the first episode of this. I know you were very passionate about trying it out, Phil. So I had to give it a shot. And the boobs are too big. They're
just the one elf
big.
Girl, but
correct. Correct. It's the one. I'm like, they're probably going to, there's going to be more.
There's so much tape. We're gonna have to save from tonight, because we're gonna have to go back and play that for John, like the moment that he said that. I don't know that I thought I was ever going to hear it.
I can't control what the animators do with, these sorts of things.
No, I'm not.
But
I'm asking you to
I think
control
the
it.
premise is funny. But this elf girl's definitely they're definitely like in love with each other. I've watched 3 episodes now. There's 3 episodes out. So it's a little bit strange. And there's some questionable scenes in the second episode that are just, it just plays up the whole like double entendre stuff. It's just, but it's quite funny. I think it's
Reborn
funny.
as a baby behemoth, Knight gets adopted as a pet by a beautiful elven adventurer who mistakes him for a cat. There's a little synopsis there. I do see, yes, it's 3 episodes available already.
Yep.
It was definitely like, so besides aesthetically being less pleasing than what you might be looking for when you go to a show like this, there's a very strange bar in town that's very sort of, it's like, it's not that it's in there, it's that it's like the normal tavern that everybody goes to. Everybody's just like in leather thongs, and the owner is super very strange and make-upped up, and it's like, this is just the normal place everybody goes. And then our heroine is very strangely interested in this cat, because to her it's just a cat,
right?
So it's very like, okay, you're getting drunk, but you're very like, I don't know where this is going, Phil.
I would give it. I think it's worth giving it the 3-episode try. I think you'll actually. I don't know that you'll want to keep watching it, John, but I think you'll be like, okay, I like this a little better than I did initially. So I think a couple things. I forgot what I was going to say about the show. Every time I go on High Dive, this is like the #1 show they're pushing. Like, check the show. So I think
I know it is. Yeah.
So I think that I don't find it unaesthetically pleasing. I think it's not like the most well animated and artistically made show ever, but it's not bad. It's not badly made.
No, I'm not like, if I was engrossed by the writing, I'm not like, oh, this is poorly drawn or animated. I have my beef is with the design choice of like quadruple X size. I don't know what size juggalos those are, Phil. Those watermelons are watermelons. Like,
well, sometimes it be like that. I don't know.
Throw another euphemism in there. I dare you.
So.
Yeah, so
I have to just give a shout out and paraphrase, Big Smoke It, who's in the chat, and they are essentially saying we seem too cool to be doing an anime podcast, which I think is a compliment. So thank you, but also anime's cool, man. So, or woman. So, but I appreciate. I think I know where you're coming from. I appreciate that. It's kind of you to say. It's the hat, obviously. So I got you.
Yeah, we do
style
appreciate
points.
that. Big
Style points for sure.
Look, I've been told that before. There was this shop in the mall that they'd sell a lot of Japanese and Korean snacks and different stuff, and they're cool, and they're not there anymore. But we got to visit with the guy that ran the place quite a bit, and he would often come to Anime Detour. He would set up shop there to sell snacks and stuff at the con, and it's just chaos there. And so he didn't recognize us from visiting there. He recognized us from visiting the shop, and so he's always surprised. Like, he literally said that to us before. It's like, oh, you guys seem too normal to like go to Anime Detour.
Like, oh, if only you actually knew us, you'd know that is not true.
So, well, you look, there's a type, you can, it's like, every square is a rectangle, but
not every rectangles
aren't squares. Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah. I think there's all sorts of people that watch anime and consume anime and consume like quote unquote nerd geek culture. Whether it's
different now.
Or, just like fantasy books and movies or sci-fi or, it's becoming more and more mainstream. You don't have to. You can come out of the basement. We can all come out of the basement. It's the to coin a similar phrase for a different group of people.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you for being here. Big Smoke It. Leave us a follow if you'd like. And we're going to be talking about solo leveling in a bit. So if you've seen that, stick around. Okay. What else from High Dive, Phil? Yes.
I've been watching Chain Soldier, which is, I'd read about like a year ago and never watched it because I didn't have High Dive, and I finally pulled trigger. So, that's also like a whole vibe.
What is it?
So
What was it?
it's called Chain
called?
Soldier.
Chain Soldier.
Yeah, it's like basically the premise is there's these like group of warrior women who like protect Earth from a different alternate reality, and then like
I do like this summation here. Sorry,
Yeah.
to save the world, Yuki must be willing to become Commander Kyoka's servant both on the battlefield and at home.
yeah.
I'll put him on.
Synopsis. You can just leave it there. Add it to your watch list. Good job. Now, I mean, there actually is. This one actually has some pretty cool like battle stuff in it, and it's actually quite funny. It's like the main captain of this unit. They all have like their own special power, kind of a la My Hero Academia. They all have kind of like quirk, and hers is that she can like turn either these monsters or humans, she finds out, into like her like slave, and she turns them into like this creature to battle with, but then they go back to normal after they're done battling, and then she has to like reward the person she makes a slave after they're done battling. It's like just part of her power, and usually if she's like turning one of these monsters into like her slave, she just has to get them some like raw meat. But since it's a human male, she has to basically do whatever is in his subconscious desire. So it varies. He doesn't even always know or understand that his subconscious was like asking for something particular, but there are some that are quite funny. I mean, obviously it's for adults, but I mean it's still like anime.
TVMA right there.
Yeah, TVMA, but it's not anything like that you'd find on a different website. So
sure.
It's like I would say it's probably comparable to High School D&D DxD.
Okay.
In terms of what they
Ludity, probably not a word.
Yeah. Lewdness.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's if that's your thing, or if it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's good though. It's entertaining. It's getting
nice.
A little chilly. Gotta layer up here.
Oh, I think it's gonna be getting warm in here, fellas.
No. We're good.
Okay. Well, very nice.
There's a bunch of stuff that's
going to gradually put more on.
Yeah.
But who has the time? I also like.
Yeah. No, you knocked out a bunch. No. Very nice.
It is nice when they're all like dropping at the same time on like different days, so I can just watch this episode and that episode. I'm not trying to binge like 12 episodes at once.
Yeah, just see what starts dropping out week to week. Yep. Like, I don't need to, I don't have time for that one now.
Yep. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andrea, how about you?
I have been watching a lot of what I planned to watch. Solo Leveling Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. Super pumped about that. Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 1. Because y'all are lame and waiting. Yep, I did.
You did.
Because y'all are waiting for the dub, but I do not mind the sub.
I was willing to watch it. Dana was like, I'm excited to see it, but I'd rather wait for the dub, which surprised me because she watched the last like 3 episodes of Season 1 with subbed because she didn't want to wait to finish, to wait for it. I was like, I kind of thought she would want it.
Well, you're right in the heat of it at that point. You're really like...
Right. You're right. Like so excited to learn. Yeah. And so you get the good story arc. I get it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But I will say, I will not spoil, but I think that the second season starts off very solid. Not like excellent, amazing, mind-blowing, but like very solid, good start. Just like getting you back in the world, like setting up some new things happening. So, good one.
Okay. Good.
Similar to that, I watched the first episode of Season 2 of My Happy Marriage. And that one was also like, I think until like the last 7-8ish minutes was like a solid in my book. And then we got introduced to a new character and it was like, bam. Ooh, it's good. Sets up some great conflict. This is clearly a strong character. We meet Kyoka's mother is the spoiler there. it's good. It's like super good. I was really excited about it. I was kind of like, oh, it's good. And then, yeah, now I'm really excited to see what happens.
Okay.
So those are,
I added that to
sorry.
Dana's Netflix list.
She'll like it.
Yeah.
She'll like it.
It seems like I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Okay.
From you and others.
And then, so those are all the things that I like continued to watch. Out of those 3, Solo Leveling was like definitely top. I thought it started off like so excellently and then just got even better. Like I was worried, but no, episode 2 was just as good. I was just as hooked. So, new stuff, new, old, and new. I watched the first episode of a show called Gamers. And it's like a high school rom-com that I had started. Apparently it was on my Crunchyroll watch list a long time ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I was going to try that. So I watched the first episode. It is interesting. I need to give it like a 3 because there were parts of it I really liked. Like there were very funny, like undercuts, like subtle humor, like asides that were happening. And then like other parts, the main character made choices that I was like, oh, that's very abrupt. And I don't know that I like that. And then they sort of gave reasons that I was like, I accept this enough. So yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Out of 5, or you need to give it the 3-episode try.
I need to give it a 3-episode try.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I had very mixed feelings about the first episode.
Okay.
It sounds interesting.
I don't watch anything lower than a 4.6 out of 5 on Crunchyroll.
Wow.
The standards got to match the hat, baby.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was good, but I don't know if maybe just like, I don't know, my expectations were somewhere and they just didn't meet with what I was watching. So I'll give it 3 episodes and get back to y'all and see what I feel like.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I watched is the first episode of Sakamoto Days.
Yes.
Great.
Sakamoto Days. I watched that too. Sorry. Yes.
I really like that.
I did too.
That must be on Netflix?
It is. Yep.
Netflix.
Okay.
That's why I forgot to mention it.
Okay. Yeah. Then that's worth jumping in, huh? Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, the whole first episode is just setting up the premise, but yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of exposition. They don't waste a lot of time. No. They do like a mini sode, like a mini story arc in the way of exposition. And I found it compelling. I didn't find it like, here is the droning on and on background of,
it's almost like, yeah, I agree with you, Andrea. It's almost like an immediate backstory, quick, so yeah, I think it works.
It's like, it was like an episode within an episode. It was just like a little mini short, and then you got into what was going on. It was necessary, but they didn't drag it out. So yeah, and then like the actual getting into things was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to give that one a shot. I didn't check Netflix, so
sure,
got to go back.
You also had a lot of Solo Leveling to catch up on.
Yes, yes. This week, I definitely binged Solo Leveling. That's absolutely what I did. So, I gave that Beheneko a shot. Ash and I watched a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. And then she was really into Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden, season 2 started of that. Mm-hmm. And so we had to give that a shot. So we watched that last night, the first episode that's available there. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting show. She's read quite a bit of that manga. Okay. Further ahead because she liked season 1 so much, and so she kept reading the manga, and then it kept taking so long for a new volume. It was just so she sort of just wore out of like waiting for the next one or whatever. But this is a good thing. It's a very different art style. Like you'll see that there's a lot of they got some Vietnamese studio working on the anime, and it's just a very different look to the whole thing. From a lot of things, it's very cutesy and fun. So it's lighthearted but like emotional. So It's a good one. I think Dana would like it.
Yeah. Okay.
But and then we did watch. This was a couple weeks ago before I decided to binge Solo Leveling. Heavenly Delusion started that, the episode 1 and 2, just the first couple episodes there, because it is my second favorite manga. I ordered the copy, so let's give it a shot. And so far, it seems like it's speeding right along, and feels a lot like the manga. They did a good job with the music and voice acting and stuff like that. So
how about that opening, huh?
Yeah, no, it's great. I'd already looked that up and got the song for it for
for
my
That's
playlist or whatever. Yeah.
So good.
So
that's something I felt like out of a lot of the shows that I watched this week, the openings, top quality.
Yeah. Okay.
Cannot say the same for the closing.
Okay.
I was disappointed in Solo Leveling Season 2 closing and Apothecary Diaries closing.
Oh,
okay.
But
cares
but like openings.
But I agree, Solo Leveling wasn't as good as.
Yeah, the opening is definitely more important. It sets that tone
for sure. It's just like
or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes the closing can be just like I still love JJK, the very first closing, like fire.
Sure. Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you can close out a show and it can be,
Yeah.
You can like set a standard, man, and live up to it.
True.
But
true.
Yeah, I mean, Inuyasha, season 1 or 2 is to me far more memorable. The closing, that's what I remember over any of the openings. Like it's a very beautiful whole little thing that I remember as a kid watching. I would watch intently the whole way through. Like I'm not skipping those credits. Or whatever. So.
Yeah. Solo Levelings is quite season 2. Season 1 is really good too, but season 2 is excellent.
Yeah.
I barely remember season 1s because I just every time I had the opportunity, I'd skip.
Sure.
Just trying to get through them faster.
Gotta watch it at least once. But I skip it a lot. Afterwards.
So then a lot of Solo Leveling, which we'll talk about here in a second. I have work to do here. I always have to figure out what ones I can watch that Ashley won't care about, because I asked her as well, as like, should we give Apothecary Diaries a shot? Go with the episode 1, see all the Japanese and stuff like that. And she's like, I'd rather wait for the English. So I'm gonna wait for the English than that.
Yep. So. Same.
Is My Happy Marriage, is that in both or?
Nice.
It is in both right now. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like when they come to Netflix, they're often like immediately in English.
Yeah.
Because Sakamoto Days is English too, right, Andrea?
Yeah. It is, and I did watch that in English. That's the only thing out of all of this I watched in English.
Okay.
I did try both. I was just like curious how I'd feel, and I liked both, and I just decided to keep rolling with English.
Sure. Okay. Well, nice. Good job, everyone. Watching lots of things. Let's get into Solo Leveling. So I did get, let's see if this works here. Just got some pictures. So let's first want to just season 1 quickly, thoughts. A lot of these pictures are going to be from season 1. You guys seemed attached quickly. I mean, Andrea and I read a lot of the comic to start, or like the beginning stuff.
Yep. And I didn't. Yeah. I mean, I was pulled in pretty quickly right away. It's not a particularly like complicated premise. It's pretty kind of video. The premise itself is pretty video gamey. But it just works.
But the double dungeon right away, just like that intensity right away. I feel like it just let me know that the anime was going to move so much faster than the manga, which is an issue we had. I was always ready to like keep going in the manga, but it was rough sometimes because I would be just like scrolling like, dude, you got to get me there faster. Like you got to, sometimes you want to savor something and really enjoy the story. And with Solo Leveling, I was always like, this is really good, but also like, I need you to, maybe not do some filler frames here.
Sure. Yeah.
And I felt like the anime was just like, yeah, we're just gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, Andrea. I feel the same way. I mean, there are moments where they're
There's
talking.
slower moments for sure.
There's slower moments, but on the whole, it feels like the show is just barreling forward at all times at like a breakneck pace, and I'm just here for it. It's so good. So I don't want that with every anime I watch, but for this one, it works.
Right.
That's actually part of the reason I like watching this one in Japanese, because it just suits the vibes of the show better, I think. Just because they always seem like they're yelling, and it's just like, it's great. It just works for it. I've not watched it in English, but I'm curious how it is in English. But it doesn't seem it could be as impactful in English. Tony left tell us.
I don't know. I guess I gotten in a lazy habit of often just like, oh, I'll put on the English version.
Sure.
When I used to always watch the subtitles. And, you know, this show does right up front give you a, like you say, that kind of horrible, dramatic scene. And usually if something's heavy drama, it's asking me to take it more seriously, I still prefer the Japanese. You know, just what I'll lean towards. So,
sure.
Yeah.
So you also watch in Japanese?
What's that?
So you also watch in Japanese?
Yes, I also watch Solo Leveling in Japanese. Yep. I was like, oh, maybe Korean because it's Korean written, but it's really the whole production is Japanese. The original audio is Japanese, so just stuck with that.
So like the names are Korean, and that's about it.
Yeah. There's something I want to talk about though. Actually, I mentioned it to Ashley. It was you know, I don't know as much about Korean culture as like Japanese, but I just pick up a pessimism to the to like the some sort of mindset that exists there, because I noticed early on reading like a lot of webtoons, you know, bullying is a big theme in a lot of stuff, and then you'll see in this and other things how it's like the idea of corruption. People are willing to stab you in the back. You know, you can't get ahead. Those are like recurring themes all the time. It's a much more. I just find these sort of bleak messages. Even if you look at like some of the Korean films a few years ago, there was Parasite that was nominated, maybe even won best film. Similar deal. It's like it's very classism focused. I can't get ahead. I'm treated differently. All this sort of thing. And it's just like this is a prevalent theme whereas I feel like in a lot of Japanese anime, the themes are much more uplifting. Like even if there is something, there are exceptions where like that's why I stopped watching Shield Hero, Rising of the Shield Hero, because I've never experienced such injustice on like continual week after week to our protagonist. I just couldn't take it anymore. Like, but otherwise it's like, rise up, fight, you can do it. It's a bleaker outlook.
Interesting. I think isn't Squid Game Korean too, South Korean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, exactly. Down on your luck, way out of like you the people that have, you know, they've dug themselves in a hole, or the system has dug themselves in a hole and they can't get out, so they reach for these desperate means in order to,
like,
you know, it's just like
with their lives.
And the bad guys are like sort of like, you know, wrapped in luxury, the uber wealthy. So it's just these are continual over and over things, and so this show to me is breaking out of those molds as time goes on. But early on it felt more of a thing, because because now we have a character that can fight back. Now we have a character that stands a chance. Before it's like, oh yeah, he's betrayed again. Oh yeah, he's gonna get murdered. Everybody's gonna get murdered again going into a dungeon, you know. Because it's for, I guess, just for, you know, sometimes just for the accolades and make a name for myself, just for the money, just to get ahead, anything just to get ahead. So
because I like it.
Yeah, because I like it. Yeah, right. So, but yeah, so for me, Solo Leveling, it started out, I agree with you, Andrea. It goes quicker. They spend a lot. It feels like a lot of time in the webtoon to get through what's happening here, and there's a lot of questions that in the anime it feels like it gets exciting enough that I don't worry about the questions.
Sure.
It's like I'm not concerned so much about like why these dungeons are here, how is this happening, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it yet gives me enough teases to like still think there's an answer to some of these things.
Oh yeah.
So
there's even some, I think it teases a lot. There's even some clips from because I just rewatched just before the podcast a little bit ago. I rewatched some of the high points from season 1, and I rewatched the opening from season 1. I was like, there's things in season 1 that I don't think I ever saw in season 1. So it's just, I don't know, it's just really interesting. Like it does give you like these little hints at things. And I've never read the manhwa, so I'm experiencing the anime, the story for the first time through the anime. So I definitely have questions about but to your point, John, I'm not like concerned about it. It's not the main purpose of the show for me right now. But
I think that there's definitely a lot of unanswered storyline from season 1, and season 2 doesn't bother to pick up where season 1 left off. Exactly. Because we had this whole like mystery on Jeju Island, and it was like these people are returning, they found something, like monsters are evolving, like totally just side. And also like even during that side mission, there was like, oh, these flashbacks to this old battle. Oh, there was a girl. Oh, there was like conflict between these two hunters. Like, so much teasing. And season 2 is just like, pin in that. Like, we're going to talk about other gates.
Sure.
And how gates can evolve and, panic people that way. So, like, over here we had monsters evolving. Here we have gates evolving. Like, obviously I think the season is going to play out what's happening and show us some of that. Yeah. But yeah.
I just don't, they're just not moving very linearly. Linearly. Thank you. Oh boy. Good thing you're here, Andrea. But yeah, I mean, I imagine they'll go back to all that stuff. I actually read an article that said the creators have teased, they're anticipating that they will cover at least part of the Jeju Island arc, which apparently is like after this. Like apparently the first 2 episodes are like one little, like there's like an ice slayer arc that's super short, and then there's like a major sized arc, like a regular sized arc that we're just about to start with episode 3, and then also the Jeju Island arc is next, and they hope to even get some of that in. So it's like, it's apparently they're being really ambitious with what they're trying to fit in, and with the pacing they have such really fast but I think effective pacing, so maybe they can. But again, I don't know anything about any of those arcs, so that's just what I read.
Yeah, this point here is about what I read to.
Okay.
The return of oh my god, the hunter who's after him.
Oh.
Well, he's just it's the first one he goes into. He's like, I'm there, and he's with the rich D class.
Yep.
And, like, hey, you guys just hang back, and they realize that the party is actually going to just trap them in there.
Screw them over. Yep.
Yeah.
I just rewatched
that. Is that where you read to?
I read through that, and then it ended with the guy's brother, the S rank, finding out, hey, he's dead. I'm going to come get these guys that survived. I think that was about the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read further to where he actually touched back down in Korea. So like right about here is where I read to.
Okay.
So I really don't know other stuff that's going to go on.
Yeah. Right. I imagined that the Jeju Island stuff was the way I just sort of predicted it or whatever would be that's like the end game in a sense for it's they're going to need Sung for this. They're going to need him. And so like he might get on the outs here. He's going to draw a lot of bad attention, all this sort of thing. But it's like we have this operation and we need him at this point. Well, anyone we can get to, to actually achieve this.
Oh, right.
And
sure.
yeah. So I was thinking like that might be drawn out to be the end. I don't know how long this goes. I know it was cut short. Shorter than
was.
Yeah, than they wanted to because the creator died. But yeah.
I wonder if they could, I wonder if there's like an option. Whoever is in charge of the creator's estate could like approve them to just kind of like continue it on if they wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a reasonable wrap up. I really don't know anything about that, and I don't really want to. We'll find out. How it goes here and stuff.
Okay.
I've been happy being very surprised. Like so at the end of season 1 and then going into this, like the idea that he gets the like necromancer ability
so cool.
And like can raise spirit, that's like
I love it.
I did not see that coming at all. No. That was super cool.
Yeah.
So this is a fun aspect.
Yeah. Yep.
And I love the visuals on this. Like the way that they depict his shadow armies. God, the shadow ice bears like this. Oh, I love this. So freaking cool.
Do you guys know if he has like a finite number of shadows he can like will it be a thing where like, oh, now I just like raised up a bunch of shadow bears, so some of my night shadows like go back to being like,
well, they all use mana. So that's his cap. Like my question is, how many can he store? Or can that be infinite?
Is that your question too, Phil?
Yeah, I guess essentially it's like all the people that he's like, essentially he's like binding these spirits to him. He's a necromancer, right? So like, how many spirits can he have bound to him? And once he's bound them, could he release them? Like, if you have more and more, progressively more and more powerful shadows that at your disposal, why would you hold on to like a platoon of knights from, weeks ago?
That other dungeon,
now you have freaking bears and like all these different people you're turning into. I mean, he's just going to start turning more and more people in shadows, and more powerful people. So, like, why would you hold on to those less powerful beings at all?
Maybe he doesn't. If your mana gets so high that like they don't amount to much, they're just cannon fodder.
Then I suppose I guess that you might be in a position where you need like a literal army.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to have numbers, I guess. If it doesn't hurt anything, why not keep them bound to you? I guess. Yeah.
I mean, even here he was like the ice elf leader was like, "Hey, I got the numbers," and he was like, surprise!
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I did have. I hope they answer it more satisfactorily, but just this whole like idea, like I guess I'm just not strong enough to get this ice elf king to create.
You don't think that makes like what? That's self-evident, isn't it? That's self-evident. That's just like any game. It's like, oh, you're not
but if
dominant
you're strong enough,
but
he was strong enough with his powers, and this shadow army is an extension of him, and he earned his shadow army. If you're strong enough to defeat an opponent, you should be strong enough to also then.
No, I don't think so. It's on the individual. It's not like what tricks you pull out of your hat. It's not like you defeat someone because you have the help of others, or by happenstance.
He defeated all these things. This power is an extension of him and his power. So, I mean, these are all him. It's all, no matter if it's like 3 against 1 or whatever. It's all him.
I don't really see it that way, because he even said like in this, like he doesn't even know if he's maybe equal to the Red Knight. To Egress now, now.
His introspection about himself is incorrect,
and he had a hard time extracting or getting. He had to like give a little speech, convince.
I mean, I
agree
feel
with all
like
those things, but I was just disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and also like. The show has to set limits, otherwise,
no limit.
Sung can do anything.
No limits.
It's just, So I mean, I get it. I thought that made sense, and I thought that it was like, okay. I also like, I don't know. There's enough personality to explore between like strong silent egress and like, I don't know, kind of like rageful but funny iron.
Yeah.
You know, like we have
Mhm.
enough characters. I didn't really need like the crazy ice elf. Who knows? He might get another chance to resurrect
Fair
him
enough.
later.
Yeah,
It might be a thing.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to end up killing so much stuff. He can't have everything. You can't have it all. Can't have it all. That dagger he got, that was pretty sweet. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
That's been one of my concerns with the show is like, so one, typically I like ensemble cast things. You know, I like a team. I like people with different abilities, some things that people that contribute. There isn't that really. No. Like there are other characters in this world that seem cool, and I'm actually gonna pull up one of those now or whatever. But they're not really involved at this point. They're very on the side, and so. He's going, Sung's going into these gyms in it's Pokemon now. He's going to these dungeons.
That's immediately what I thought too. I was like, oh God, defeat the gym leader.
Yeah.
I got the ice badge. Okay. Anyway.
He's going to these dungeons and he has to do it all. And it's cool, but you have to balance that. Wow, that's badass with this is threatening and you're not all powerful. And so that's why it's really, I think, really important. He couldn't get the Ice King guy there, Ice Elf guy, because it's just like show the limits. And then we have to see these other people here. So normally I'd be like, I would have thought at some point, like the healer that was in this dungeon with him, I thought, oh, maybe maybe I don't know if she was a healer. She was a rank B something.
Yeah. In this red gate.
Yes. And she just like sat there too with other people. I'm waiting for at some point him to have someone worthy of contributing and that he will like take along then. Yeah. That is meaningful other than someone he just has to protect. And
or someone he like turns into a shadow.
Yeah, I was going to say, because obviously he's got like worthy shadow companions, but we haven't seen anybody worthy human-wise, but also like he's antagonized and or like kind of made frenemies of any other hunter who is powerful, or he's avoided them.
Right.
Yes.
So we've very deliberately seen him be like, no, I don't want to engage. So somebody at some point, and I'm guessing it's going to be one of these three, is going to make him engage. And that's when we'll see which way that goes.
Probably the guy who's trying to kill him because he killed his brother. But
but that's more straightforward.
Sure,
like they're not going to just be like, pause, let's be friends.
Right. No.
Yeah.
This guy seems like even if our lives were in danger from like some crazy dungeon monster, I'd still kill you. Like I really don't give a shit about the monster.
Right. Yeah.
To me, it's like Sung's inherent. Again, people could correct me if they don't think this is true, but that's what I'm going with. It's inherent in South Korean pessimism that if I reveal this to anyone, I'm immediately going to be in trouble.
Right.
Like I'm going to be jailed or something. Target on my back. I'm going to be, I don't know. Exactly. And where I think that this manager of the other, what was it, White Tiger Guild? And then this, if you're watching this S rank with the white hair that's on screen, maybe he's the White Tiger, I think he was like, I don't care.
He is,
like, get on my team if you're strong. Like, we're not part of the association or whatever that's here to like, make sure all the rules are followed to this thing that we vaguely have any concept of what's happening anyways.
Right.
If you can help our guild, please do it.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the path this kind of goes, because obviously the rich kid's father and his business all seems kind of shady, and I don't know, like he's not treated well anyways. He's not respected. So I'm not sure if he's like long for helping them.
Sure.
I don't know.
You guys really yet. It's like they're trying to make it into one.
Well, and that is one part of the show that bothers me like a little bit, because obviously he's got this contract and he's gonna help this kid get through these dungeon ranks so he can start his own guild and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, but like you're really just doing this for you. Like you're saying you're helping this kid, but it's sort of being a little bit one-sided, and I'm a little disappointed that Sung is at least trying to help this kid be like, okay, I like picked up all these skills. Here's some knowledge, man, instead of just like coming in and digging out, the crystals and stuff. I don't know. I wish it was like a little bit more, like there was a little bit more like mutual benefit. Right now, it just seems like all on Sung's side. And I'm kind of a little bit off put by it.
That's the great part about this show, though, Andrea. He's not turning like evil per se, but he's just getting so powerful. He's just like, I only care about the things I care about, and that's all I care about. And he's like, I thought it was funny online. People are referring to him as like this prototypical like edgelord type archetype, which I think is quite funny. But that is true. He's just like becoming this like really badass dude who isn't going out of his way to like be cruel and evil, but he's also just like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to meet my goals.
Right.
Like even including killing this guy in the middle of a battle with this boss and like turning him into a shadow. Now, granted, that guy went a little nuts.
Had it coming.
Tried to kill them and in fact left them to die in the first place. So I don't feel bad for that guy. And I think Sung is totally within his rights to just murder that dude and turn him into a shadow and make him iron. But it's like he was just like, that when the first time he killed those guys that were trying to kill him, he even then was just like, oh, I just murdered a human. Like, this is like a person. And it's like, dude, they were trying to kill you. First, they tried to leave you to die, and then they were literally going to kill you. So don't feel bad. But I'm here for it. I'm like, yeah, Sung, just like, get it, man. He's in it for himself, and he wants to save his mom and help his sister. And that's it. I mean, and he protects people along the way. By the way, who is that girl that went with him to the red? I didn't really.
So that is his sister's classmate.
Okay.
Yes.
Who happened to be just one of the people that kind of, she sort of like dropped out of school or something so she could be a hunter. Like she had an awakening. And so she was at the rich kids' raids, one of them to just sit there.
Oh,
to
just be sitting there, whatever. Yeah. And then
she was in the end of season 1, was she?
Yeah.
I had no memory of her. Okay, well.
She'd be the one standing by the tree or whatever in her,
just all grumpy, like we don't get to do anything. I'm a hunter, but I'm not doing anything. Like all mad about it. Yeah, and also I'm already over her like slutting it up. I
thought that was hilarious.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I thought it was funny. They threw in just a little bit of like goofiness at the end of this.
Yes,
it's the first time I've ever seen like any of it in this anime or in this anime.
Because there's
just
not
like
much.
Iron and the wizards at the end of that battle were kind of like being a little goofy, and then just the stuff with the guy he works with, like being
the rich kid is like she's underage.
Right.
Like, he's just clueless in this. I thought it was hilarious. So
that was funny.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
I thought some of it was funny, but also I really was like, she is underage, so like don't drag this out. Like,
but he has no idea.
But they didn't do anything. But it's just he didn't. Song wasn't.
I know, but like, even the scenario, I'm just like, she's underage. Like, let's not dwell here. Anime. Do you know what I mean? Like it was funny, and now I want it to be just like a funny moment, and then like we're done with that. Thank you.
Sure.
I don't think her crush on him is going to end, nor would it. Like that's the thing. Like she just saw this dude who got a sick new haircut, so he looks like a K-pop star.
He grew like 5 inches
and stuff. Completely.
Well, she didn't see him before.
Oh.
Well, she was only in the rich kids raids, so he already was like taller, more built.
Yes,
we don't.
She didn't see OG Sung.
Well, she may have. We don't know that that's the case.
Well, she did.
She wouldn't see it in the anime.
So different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so, because I think she had her awakening after he like had his reawakening. Is like the implication I'm getting from the anime. So I don't think she would have encountered him necessarily.
But he goes to school as her guardian, as his sister's guardian, and she might run into him there. You don't know. It's possible.
My point is, regardless of their age, who is not going to have the hots for Sung Jin-woo? Come on. Everyone's
I think that's fine, but like I'm already over her like makeup face. Like just go back to being natural. Like have a crush.
Yeah.
Like I get it, and also like let's make it clear that like we're not going to go there because she's underage.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm still here, but I gotta turn my camera for a second.
Sure. I do also have to get going soon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. There's only 2 episodes in this this season 2. I agree with what you said kind of up top, Andrea, that it was like an exciting first episode and then just continued on that and got cooler. Our little squabble outside, it's going to be fun to see outside the gate. It's going to be fun to see where he lands, how this comes, all falls into place. And what sort of all this does to his character, because I do think it's called soul leveling. So he's working by himself, all this sort of thing. I do think with the murders and then being alone and not accepting anyone in, he's going to have trouble maintaining his humanity. Even the head of the White Tiger Guild said, hey, he's kind of prickly, isn't he? Or he's kind of rude or something,
Yeah. I found myself, kind of switching back and forth on whose like side I felt I was on when in that. And that was really interesting because, when he comes out, the head of the White Tiger Guild is like, tell me what happened. And he's kind of, pushy about it. It's like, this guy just got out of a dungeon.
Yep.
I get that you really want to know. And like, you're responsible for what happened to your hunters in there. And also you could be a little bit nicer about it.
Right.
And then, once Sung was like, you should be thanking me. And he was like, he immediately de-escalated. And I was like, wow, that's mature.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you're right. Thank you. You did a good thing. And then Sung was kind of a dick and was just like, yeah, I'm going to go home now. Peace. Yep. And I was like, dude, you could be mature also.
No, I'm always on Sung's side. Song over here.
So I thought it was interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like that I wasn't always like feeling it for my anti-hero, as I'll call him. Like sometimes I was like, maybe you could like match this other guy's generosity here and just kind of de-escalate and be like, I gotta go home. I'm exhausted. I'll tell you later what happened. Like I'll come back and I promise. Yep. So I don't know.
The big call to me, the big tell of this all was when he met the manager. The manager wanted to set up a whole thing, and he like showed off his like basically don't mess with me or else. He like cut him on his cheek and all sorts of like that's really ballsy and unnecessary. Like you're
that's what I'm saying. It's like changes personality, not completely, but he's
Slippery
like
you better watch it. He's gonna be burnt
style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. He was the same way with the people he was trying to help too. It's just what I'm saying. Like even with the people he's trying to help, he's like kind of a cold and like distant from. Like in the woods when he's just like, "Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me for anything." Like I felt like he was implying like, "I'll take care of it. You don't have to ask me to like protect you. You don't have to ask me to get you things to like take care of you. I'm obviously going to take care of it. You don't even need to like say anything. Just don't mess with. Just leave me alone." Let me get you through this. That's just like the vibe he's putting out right now, and I'm here for it.
Right.
It's not how I am in real life, which so I don't know why I like it so much.
This thing is a power.
People know me know that again. That's not how I am.
Fantasy.
But
that's what it is. So.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm not like that in real life. I'm like, oh, this is fun to watch, like the character this way.
Yeah, I mean, I think too. There's some. A hardening of an exterior shell because there's some definite fears around like, we're not there right now, but like his ultimate goal is to get the elixir of life to cure his mom and like, cure her illness. Sure. And, we skipped over this a little bit, but like the other secret dungeon that he went into and basically like very nearly got his ass handed to him by Cerberus. Yes. Which was awesome. And also like a very real, like, holy shit, like I am not ready for this. Mm-hmm. There's some definite fear there. There's some fear driving and like, I can't be vulnerable. I have to just, do what I need to do and get stronger and stronger and stronger and can't let anybody in because I'm very afraid that, I could fail in the end if I'm not tough enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I think we did it, Andrea. Getting out here on decent time. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Glad I could catch up so we could talk about solo leveling, and hopefully in a couple weeks we got some apothecary. It's gonna be tough. I don't know what to do about apothecary. I don't know what to do about apothecary because it's like the pacing is gonna be all different with the English and stuff like that. But we can do my happy marriage. Maybe if we agree that agree on a couple, if Sakamoto Days is really worth it. Something, we're all kind of we'll pick that up next time. So
I think I'll probably pretty much be watching everything. So whatever you guys decide we want to talk about, I'll
fills in.
I'll be here for it. We could do like Apothecary Diaries, solo leveling, Sakamoto Days. We could talk about like just less in depth, but like we could talk about multiple different shows.
For sure.
It's just this is prime. I didn't realize that. I don't know if this is always this way because it's only recently that I maybe am tracking it by like season releases now, where I'm like looking forward to things coming out.
A lot of big shows
before I was just like
this year that are getting sequel seasons. So
for sure. But it just seems like this is is the winter like release usually this.
Oh, I see.
Big?
So much is out already in January.
I think each season there's usually a lot of shows. That's why it just
it just seems like a lot. Maybe there's just a lot that I'm interested in right now. But like I didn't think fall was that. Summer and fall I wasn't super impressed with, except for a couple of things. But
keep us all up to date. Let us know. Everybody, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on all the places. This will be available on podcast directories, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts. A review would be appreciated. Next week, we'll be back with the regular Popcast on the Rock show. And I'm not sure that we'll talk about that for sure, but maybe Dr. No, book versus movie kind of thing. So we got some good stuff coming up there too. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Sayonara.